Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm excited to do. It is going to be all about makeup products that I love that everybody else seems to hate. The heck is up with that? So a couple weeks ago I posted the flip side of this video. I talked about makeup products that I hate that everybody else seems to love. A lot of you requested that I do this video as well. I've done these before on my channel in the past, so I can link some other videos down below. I just have a few products to go over with, and before we get started I wanted to say that I did film this look for my Instagram, including the eye look. I am using a bunch of Charlotte Tilbury products, including her new highlighter. I have a YouTube video all about the new highlighter with a bunch of comparisons. I use her new Bejewelled Eyes eyeshadow palette in the Instagram tutorial. And then I also have one of her new jewel lip glosses that my friend Michelle Wong gifted to me. Thank you so much, girl. But that tutorial will be coming up on my Instagram if it's not already up yet, and that is March Beauty Word, so I will have it linked down below also. Let's go ahead and jump into the makeup products that I love that no one else seems to like. All right, again, the usual disclaimer, I'm not saying that absolutely not one single person out there has said that they like these products that I'm about to share. It's just like the majority. You know, we all know those products on YouTube in the beauty space that get so hyped up and everybody seems to enjoy, but these are ones that I don't feel like I hear people speaking very highly of. You know, you already know. First up, let's talk about an eyeshadow palette. This is a newer palette. I was really excited when I saw it. I was really excited when I got it. I was really excited when I kept doing looks with it. And then I started watching other people's videos and people are like hating on it. And I feel personally attacked. It's the Natasha Denona bronze palette. What? What the heck is going on here? I feel like I should include what the heck somehow in my title. I like this palette so much. I did a video recently talking about my top eyeshadow palettes for fall, and you betcha that this one was included, and I really like it. I like the Natasha Denona formula. I think it is so fantastic. I really like these midi sizes. I do, you know, I love my minis. Love my minis so hard, but this is a good size. I like this. I like this, and I like this palette, and I like these different shades, and I like these different tones, but I've been hearing a lot of people say that it's too boring or too repetitive, or people just don't like it. And I'm like, I like this palette. I like this palette a lot. I was really excited when I got it, and even when I first, like when I posted my first video about it, or when I first shared an Instagram photo, which I am no photographer, but I thought that was a pretty great photo that I posted on the gram of this palette. A bunch of people were commenting like, oh, I'm just not really that interested. It just doesn't look very good. And I'm like, huh? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like this palette? Do you not like this palette? Did you get this palette? I'm really happy that I have it. I've already used it so many times and I really like it, okay? Next up, I want to talk about a product that kind of hurts my soul when I hear people say that they don't like it, or just, you know, they can't get it to work for them, because it is one of my tippy top favorite products. It's the McGrath foundation. We are best friends. We really are best friends. So this is her Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. This is such an expensive foundation. I know, it's $68. It is such an expensive foundation, but I love it. I have worn it under so many different conditions. I've worn it in a hot tub. I've worn it in Las Vegas. I just always take this foundation. I did take this foundation everywhere with me because it just makes my skin look so good. I struggle with skin issues. It has been a newer thing that has been introduced to me, and it's been very strange trying to get used to my new skin, if you will. And there's a lot of days where you can find me with my head down on my desk just crying because I don't feel very confident, and a part of my job is coming on camera showing myself to the internet. That's really hard to do when you don't feel a ton of self-confidence. So there's certain products that I know that I can pull that are going to make me feel more confident, and this McGrath foundation continues to be one of them. Of course, I like to try out new foundations and test new foundations, but I will continually just keep coming back to this one, and especially if I'm having those moments where I just really don't feel at the top of my game, this is what I turn to. It's so beautiful, it's so natural, and these are the things that I prefer in a foundation. So if you don't, you know, this might not be your cup of tea, I get that, but it's a nice medium coverage. I can build it up, but it's not too much, it's not too full coverage. It's that beautiful natural finish. It wears so long. It just truly, I've raved about this foundation since I first started trying it, and nothing has changed my mind about it. So when, like, sometimes people will truly DM me and be like, okay, I know you love the Pat McGrath foundation. I can't get it to work for me. Like, what are you doing? Is there something special that you're doing? I've even had YouTube friends tell me, like, what is it that you're doing? Is there a powder that you're doing with it? I can't make it work for me. And I'm like, why? How? Why? Because I just want everybody, I want everybody to love all the products that I do. I think that's just like a human thing, but I also respect when people have different opinions than me, especially when it's over makeup, because it's really not that deep. But I do love my Pat McGrath foundation. I almost take it personally when I get messages from people saying they don't love it as much, because I just want them to. Another eyeshadow palette that I really enjoyed and I really have no issues with, and it seems like a lot of people did, is this one here from Urban Decay. This is the Ultraviolet palette, the Naked Ultraviolet palette. Okay, I will say that I haven't used this like the most amount of times in the world, but I've used it several times now. I've used it on camera, I've used it off camera, I've done the purple looks with it, I've done neutral looks, I've done just like quick going out the door. Like, I mean, I've used it a handful of times now. When I first talked about this one, it was in ranking palettes that I had tried so far in 2020, and I mentioned this one. It wasn't super high on my list, but it was in that section. But I did put a preface in there that I hadn't tried it out. I think I'd only used it 2 times at that point, 2 or 3 times maybe, but I was like, you know, I'll keep trying it, because maybe if I do a big palette, you know, wrap up ranking video at the end of the month, you know, my thoughts could change one way or the other. But honestly, every other time that I've tried it, I still like it. People are saying that, I've seen people say that they don't think it's, you know, as pigmented or as easy to work with. I've found none of those issues. I know some people are saying also that they don't feel like this is, you know, a purple palette, like it's supposed to be the ultraviolet palette. They really wanted it to be, I guess maybe more of like a monochromatic palette. I actually like that we have the different shades in here. Like, I feel like Lucid probably looks very strange, but it's a cool color to be able to top with, and it can kind of shift and change the colors that you put down. I like that we have the neutral section. Again, I like neutral looks, so there's that. There's been a couple times that I've reached into the palette and I've just gone into these shades, but then there's other times where I've been able to do these like darker, like funner purple eye looks. I don't know, I like the variety in there because I feel like I can get more out of it. Sometimes if a palette is just a little bit too monochromatic or doesn't offer a lot of, I don't know, just differences in there, I feel kind of stuck with it. But with this one, I really do like it. So I don't know, have you guys continued to try this one, or did you decide to pick it up or pass over it? Because I really don't feel like I've seen people speaking too highly on it. I think it's a good one. Another foundation, I actually posed this question in, I have a private Facebook group. I always link it in my description box. It's just called Secret Sam Squad on Facebook. And I, you know, every once in a while we'll just be posing makeup questions to each other. And as I was getting ready to film this video, I thought it would be interesting to get feedback from the group. I do that from time to time with my videos. And I was reading through, it was really interesting to read what some other people were saying. There was a lot of different foundations were mentioned in there. The Maybelline Superstay lips was mentioned multiple times, which I thought was hilarious because I don't enjoy those lipsticks at all. I saw the Huda Beauty Neon palettes. People saying that they loved them, and I don't feel like a lot of people do, which I would also agree with. So it was really fun to see. But I did see one person say this, and we have this one in common, and it is the Kevyn Aucoin foundation Balm. I will say, when I first tried out this foundation, and I tried it out for a first time on a YouTube video, I did not like it at all. I was like, this is gonna be whack on me. This is not good. I used the brush that came with this foundation. Don't like that at all. Don't recommend that at all. I don't recommend using a brush with this, quite honestly, because it is more of a full coverage foundation, which actually isn't my absolute favorite. It's not my go-to. And I mean, between the Kevyn and the Pat reigns supreme for sure. But this is a foundation that I actually do like, but I feel like did get really tough reviews, and I saw a lot of people do first impressions also with it, and a lot of us were having the same, like, oh gosh, I don't know. It took me a couple tries to figure this one out and figure out that you need the smallest amount of product. So I know it probably looks like I've used this like twice, right? Like, but I don't know at this point how many times I've used it. It's been a while. I've had this foundation for about a year. I will never go through this. It will probably never look like I have gone through this, because when I'm saying you need the smallest amount, you need the smallest amount, and it covers so well. It is more full coverage, but if you're not careful, if you use too much, it's gonna look too much. It's gonna look too cakey on you. So that's why I said, like, I feel like there was a bit of a learning curve with this one, which that's not always my favorite either, but I do really like the finish to it. It's very long wearing. Once again, it's just I kind of had to learn how to do it. So when I came back to review it, you know, I mentioned that in my review, but you know, it's kind of a downfall. Like, people love seeing about the new stuff. Like, that's, so many YouTubers will say it. We can see our analytics. We obviously can tell which videos are getting clicked on the most. And that's the products that are about the new makeup. But it's hard then to be able to review products right as they're coming out. Like, we have this weird expectation as YouTubers, I feel like, to review products right away. But that means that they're really reviews off of our first impressions. And sometimes there's products that, yeah, my first impression is spot on. I loved it or hated it just like I thought I would. But then there's other times where I find pros and cons to products because I've tried them out for a while, or I try them in different ways. But by the time I want to come back to share a review, people are like, what? That foundation's old news. I've moved on to something new. So then we find ourselves in this tough spot. So it's kind of a tough thing. So I almost feel like maybe that's why this one wasn't getting as much love, because some people, you know, I'm not saying this in a rude way, because I fully understand, like, it's such a tough climate of balancing between only showing new products and actually reviewing products. It is tough, but I think maybe this one got a bad rap, maybe because of that, or maybe because there was so many first impressions where people are like, I'm really not sure, that consumers were just immediately like, nope, writing that one off. So I could be something that falls into that category, but I actually ended up liking this one a lot more than I would have thought off of my first impression. All right, I just have 2 more products left. The next one here, this is from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is her Beauty Light Wand Highlighter. I have the shade Pillowtalk. Okay, so this is one where I feel like I see people like it and use it, but I also see a lot of complaints about it. And I've gotten messages myself from people saying, I just don't like how messy it is when I use it. And I really do. I really fully understand that. And I am not someone who loves liquid products myself, and I do find them harder to work with. A lot of times I don't bother reaching for them because I'm like, it's just gonna be a mess, or I don't like it on my face, or I feel like it looks like I got like fingerprints or something in my face when I use liquid or cream. It's just like, oh no, I don't wanna do that. But this one, even though I will say the component can be a little bit on the tough side, and yes, it can be a little bit messy sometimes, I still love it that much that I don't care, and I continue to reach for this so often. It shocks me. It shocks me how much I love this product, because hands down, was not expecting to. This is another one that I tried it for the first time in a YouTube video, and I was like, the heck? The heck? I was just so surprised at how beautiful it was, and I continue to use it, and I continue to use it. So what you do, the component here, you can flip this back and forth to lock or unlock it. That's great to be able to do. But even sometimes when you unlock it and you push it up and the product comes out of this little poof ball here, even if you then lock the product, because, you know, some people are telling me when I was saying like that I thought it was messy, they're like, you have to lock it. Well, yes, but if you already have a bunch of product come out here and you're like applying it, or you put a brush in it, it's just there. You can't get it to go back in. You can't just be like, okay, we are done now, goodbye. It doesn't really work that way. So I get it, and I see it, and I understand people's complaints with it, but honestly, I still think it's so beautiful that I will continue to use it. Alrighty, and then the last product is a mascara that I love so much, and I've recommended this so much. I've repurchased it myself. I first got it sent to me in PR. I went on to repurchase it myself. I like this one so much, and I wear it so often. It is the Nars Climax mascara. I hear a lot of people, or once again, I'm always trying to be in my comment section. I schedule out typically, unless like something crazy is happening, but the first hour of after I post a YouTube video, I'm trying to be in my comment section and to talk to people and see what people are thinking about what I mentioned. That's fun for me. I enjoy doing that. So it's just, that's why I post my videos in the morning. That's when I have time to be able to sit down and be responding. I'm trying to be in my Instagram DMs as much as I can. I try to respond on Twitter as much as I can. Like, I really enjoy talking to you guys and seeing what it is that you know, you're loving or you're hating or you're interested in or what you're not so interested in. It's just, it's interesting to me. And so I've gotten some comments from people saying that you feel like the Nars Climax really smudges or transfers on you, and that makes me so sad because, again, I have gone through so many of these. I've gone through full sizes, I've gone through minis, again, I've repurchased it myself. This mascara does not move on me. I took this mascara on my vacation. I don't even know when it was. It was a while ago. I went to, where did I go? The Dominican Republic. When I went on a vacation a couple years ago, this was the mascara that I took. And not that I was wearing makeup a ton by any means, but like when we were going to dinner or we went off the resort and I had makeup on, this was the mascara I wore in that heat because I knew it wasn't going to move on me. So I say that, and I say that in my reviews, and I say how much I love this one. So when people message me and they're like, it's under my eyes, and it's, oh, my eyes. I get so sad because I love this one so much. So I'm very curious, what are your thoughts on the Nars Climax? Like, do you love it? Or do you find that it doesn't work for you? Because for me personally, I enjoy it. And I test a lot of mascaras, and I will say it is really hard for me to find mascaras that like straight up don't move, because I like to put mascara on my bottom lashes, and then even when you blink, even if I were to skip my bottom lashes, when you blink, you know, the transfer can still happen there. So I usually get like the most fit right here. I don't usually have issues on my upper lids very often. So it's hard. I know that it's hard, but this is one that truly has not moved on me. So I'm like, I just want everybody to love it. Alright, so that is going to do it for today's video, talking about these makeup products that I love, that it seems like everybody else hates, or just really dislikes, or just really doesn't want to try. You know what I mean. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments though. Let me know, what do you love that you feel like nobody else seems to be enjoying or really talking about a lot? I also was thinking about doing an updated, maybe like an underrated products video, because when I was making my list for this video, I was putting on products that I really love, but it's not that I hear negative feedback on them, it's just that I don't really hear a lot of people talking about them at all. So I feel like that would fall more in the underrated category. So if you'd want to see a video like that, underrated, overrated, please let me know in the comments, of course. But as always, if you enjoyed this one, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.